I'm getting upset.
Why are you upset?
I'm glad you asked.
Tell me, Seth.
That sounds scripted, but that's just how you and I are. What was it that I said, or maybe High Top said, is that Daredevil or something doesn't pretend... Oh, it was Arcane. Arcane doesn't pretend that the audience is stupid. Mm-hmm. I feel like I am being degraded by the showrunners of
Really?
Born Again.
I don't
with
feel
small
like that.
things like Punisher tattoos being like, and then I've ranted to you about how I'm getting fed up with people finding out that Foggy might have faked his death because of
Everyone thinks
Easter
they're
eggs.
just smart for saying that, yeah.
I know that everyone thinks they're smart, and I'm just getting fed up with
It's
it.
more just like fans being annoying.
Yeah.
So
And
maybe we're the annoying fans too.
yeah,
But
no, we're not, because I'm not doing the face into the camera.
clickbait.
Clickbait. I'm gonna probably use that face.
Foggy's alive?
Nobody knew.
Whoa.
But even outside of how fans are reacting and the street number being the comic run that actually showed that he faked his death, it just makes me mad because of how Daredevil Born Again has been treated and what's come out, where that 1 through 6 is now episodes 2 through 7. And whatever happened in episode 1 just felt wrong to me and shoved in there, especially... I mean, everyone was feeling things, and especially... I actually felt more when Dex was thrown off the building, and then he is alive.
Yeah.
So that is just a bait and switch for me. I do think that it helped... When you consider what they added, it does help, because being thrown into no Karen, Foggy is dead somehow.
Yeah, maybe.
Not being shown that... Well, I'm saying that if you're thrown into the halfway through episode 1, which is where the season was supposed to start, you have no Karen, Foggy's dead, Dex is alive and still going to prison. Maybe that part was still added because Karen shows up at the courthouse. I believe that was probably...
Well, I think episode 2 was actually intended to be the
I thought you had said, or somebody said, that somewhere through episode 1 was actually the start, because that is where the storylines start.
Yeah, but I think they probably just...
It's recutting. For the most part, episode 2 would have been the premiere, and recutting some things into episode 1. And then episode 3 happened this week. I just had a wrong expectation, I guess, that we were going to see more of Hector. And I guess they didn't promise us that ever.
No.
So I do think that episode 3 had the best courtroom scene, I think, in the whole show.
I mean, it was a courtroom episode.
Yeah.
Practically.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm thinking about... a lot of people will point to Matt's dialogues in the Netflix show as really good courtroom scenes. They were...
How many? We got like 2, I feel like, in the original Netflix show.
And they were good.
Yeah, they were good.
Like, he played to their emotion. It shows the skill that Matt has as a character to be a lawyer. But I do think that this drama is doing a great job. The banter, the back and forth between prosecutor and defense, the judge, the behind the scenes stuff, like going into the chambers to talk about stuff just to lawyers, like that. Makes sense.
That's something we never saw in the original show.
Which, I mean, I'm sure that happens in
Wait, maybe we did. I don't remember.
I don't think so.
No.
But I'm saying that probably happens in courtroom dramas.
Yeah.
And it's being combined with the superhero show. Yeah, it's just doing a great job. I'm frustrated just because I told Ellie as we were watching it, I think it was when Hector was on the stand testifying, I said, Daredevil has made me worried that a headshot could just happen at any moment. And it could, because then it did at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But I don't like that.
No, when you're not
I
supposed
think that's
to.
lazy. No.
You think it's lazy to kill him like that?
No. Sorry. I'm saying,
okay.
They already did the secret witness being courted around to make sure he gets to the courthouse. And it just feels like it's all a sham. I mean, I did see somebody say...
Oh, they did that in season 3, didn't they?
Yeah, with...
No, they did. Yeah, with Ray.
Nadim, sorry. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's still setting itself up. There's something that's still going to happen. He hasn't put the costume back on. I still don't know how he got out of the situation where he beat up Dirty
Well,
Cops.
there was a conversation between the two of them
Oh yeah, the one
where they
cop.
were both kind of like, I mean, neither of us were supposed to be there, so
Yeah,
yeah, which I think is
because that's what Matt.
an acceptable way to handle it.
Matt
so.
threatened them with that. He's like,
Yeah.
you can't out me, or else
Yeah.
you're gonna out yourself for being there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And I do think, I don't know if you brought this up or if it's just that obvious, and I needed it spelled out, but his Fisk's side man, the young guy, is Muse. I think that makes the most sense. He's gonna end up having a dark secret.
You think that guy's Muse?
I thought that's what you said.
No, Muse. I said Muse was the guy in like the first episode at the book signing. At the
Oh, you're right. The one with
That
this. He was
creepy guy,
He was
yeah,
acting
yeah.
weird. He asked Heather if she had more openings.
Yeah,
That
I
doesn't-
think that guy's definitely more Muse than.
Because he's unstable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say all unstable people are going to turn into supervillains. Let's make that clear. But
Yeah.
I think they're definitely setting him up for something with that scene. That scene was very intentional, and he's, sometimes you can tell just by the actor that gets cast if they're like a known actor, and like he was big in Wednesday, so
I don't know.
I haven't seen
don't know.
Wednesday either.
But
But
I don't recognize him. But
okay, he's done enough stuff to make him like recognizable. So like, I don't think he's just meant to be a throwaway scene. So
oh, for sure.
yeah.
The other thing, and we should wrap up to move on to actually get to content. I think the next two topics will go quick.
Yeah.
I like the modern take on a superhero show with how crowds work. I said this about the Superman trailer, just having everyone having their phones out. That's the thing, is to just film it. Everybody film it. It's a little insensitive to assume that you're the only one who's going to matter.
Yeah.
But again, more angles help in the real world. And the Superman trailer shows that when Fisk was saying, "Get this pothole filled," people, that's what brought him up in the polls, is because, or maybe...
Because he gets stuff done,
Yeah, he gets stuff done. I don't think that was the polls. It was after he won it. But yeah, it's good. I'm trying to parse good cinema with feelings. And I think that's what Daredevil did. And that's where I see your perspective. I'm just upset with some storylines.
Yeah.
And not how I would have written it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what we're going to get into.
I don't think we're getting to Daredevil today.
Not Daredevil,
No.
but rewriting.
Yeah, rewriting.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, what was I about to say?
Final Daredevil things.
Yeah, I definitely think, like, the first scene of the show, I feel like should have been the last scene in, like, a 3-episode arc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, part of that's just because I wish we would have had more Foggy and Karen before they both got written out. But it's just so, like, killing Foggy like that, spoilers, we already gave that,
Yeah.
feels more like a climax of an arc than just so sudden in the first 10 minutes of the show.
I feel like that's the way that a lot of things happen with shows, is they mistake the hook for the climax.
Yeah.
And putting things in the... thinking about House of David, the opening had the fight with Goliath, and then they cut back to
Oh, okay.
previous story. I think that's okay, but I think you either have to write climax into the opening. You do that where you show the climax and then say, "Here's the backstory,"
Yeah.
promising that at the end. But I don't think that How Born Again opened was either of those things. I was going to
That-
find the one quote that I found. or
That first scene, too, had me a bit worried because it's kind of what I was worried Daredevil Born Again was going to be, just with how the action scenes were shot, especially. Because that first action scene was not it, to be honest. I mean, this
They were all Rubbermen. They were all CG
Yeah,
doubles, and it was the one thing, the oneer.
Yeah.
Immediately off the bat,
Yep.
was not as great. Definitely
No.
the last place out of all of them.
Yep.
Just here, I really need to find this quote that I sent you.
What was I about to say? I mean, that the part in the staircase was cool. I mean, that was very reminiscent of Daredevil because you could actually tell it was the real actors. I mean, it wasn't CGI there, but I don't know. Some people say it looked like video games. I didn't think it was that bad, but you could still tell they weren't real people. Yeah. And I think Yeah, that first scene was pretty much added just to explain why Foggy and Karen weren't going to be in the rest of the show. Because I think they are still stuck with a chunk of the original version. So I think
I think the opening of Born Again begs this question that I heard in a podcast. Does Born Again, or is it giving the fans what they want, or trying to look like the thing they want? Because that's what it felt at the beginning, was tokenism of Foggy, Karen, Wunner, Bullseye, violence.
Yeah.
None of it, like, yeah, we got the hard scene of watching Foggy die, but it just felt soulless.
I would say the new side characters are okay. Not too much to complain about them.
Somebody said that his new partner is a mix of Karen and Foggy, plus plus diversity.
I wouldn't play the diversity card there. It's
Not
just
really.
I don't know.
No, I get it. It's what somebody said. I'm not saying I say that, but I see the mix of Foggy and Karen.
Yeah,
Like the Murdoch, or the Nelson, Murdoch, and Paige would have had that dynamic of a but it feels like she just both characters mashed together. So there's a lot more to talk about. We will have a Daredevil Born Again episode when it's done.